Hi everyone and welcome to Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and today I'm here at the diamond desk, and it's been a while since I have gone through my current works in progress and some completions. Yes, I have had some completions. I feel like I am totally slacking on diamond painting, so it was sort of nice to get out some of the things that I've completed, and I thought I would go through this with everybody. So I hope everybody's well. It's a beautiful day here in Chicagoland, and looking forward to a very productive weekend of diamond painting. So I hope you are as well. So for my first finish, this is a diamond painting from DP with Sparklers, so Tima. This was given out at the Great Lakes Escape retreat, and I didn't plan on doing it because I had brought my other my current work in progress, but I had forgotten my extra drills. I brought what was in my trays, but the leftovers were sitting here at the diamond desk and I was running out of colors, so I needed something to do, so I went ahead and unboxed this. So this has, let's see, 8 colors, so not too horribly. It's a 30 by 30, and as you can see, it's a striped heart with the striped background. You know, obviously this would have worked for the Pride event, but I did finish this beforehand. And what I really liked about this painting was I've never used the neon drills before. And I sort of have a renewed interest in them because they look pretty cool. And there are some times that I want to get a color that just jumps off the page when I'm, subbing out other drills and stuff. And I think neons may be the way to go. So this was done, it took me about 2 or 3 days. And that was not full days of diamond painting. That was up and down, talking with folks, what have you. So that's my first finish for today. Then I have, so this is a bubble round. And there was an event, Christopher Colassa had a bubble round event. And the definition of a bubble round, I guess, is this one picture with just different size bubbles or drills. They're smooth, they're not faceted, but they range from super tiny. This is probably the size of like a round drill or a square drill, all the way up to like a larger bubbles that you see in the sides here. So this was fun. I'd never done one of these before. It took me maybe 2 sessions sitting down and doing it. And I liked it, and I like how it looks, so that was fun. I also completed this one as part of the bubble round event, but come to find out, it's not a bubble round. It was in the same area on the website, but I guess this is technically a special drill. So let me see if I can bring you really close in here. So if you can see, there are these pink flowers here, and then the red flowers up here and over here, all this. These are actually flower-shaped drills. Everything else is pretty much a round drill. So this I thought was really pretty, and I did post it in the bubble round site, but then Christopher had clarified something in the group, and I'm assuming that this was a special. It was allowed, but lesson learned, right? And then this is a third bubble round that I started, and this is truly a bubble round. It is all circular bubble drills. I started working up here, okay? The challenge I had with this one is they didn't leave enough room for drills. Okay, so this section here, goes from like a purple to a light yellow. Let me see if I can get this plastic off here, see it a little bit better. Let me do this. Okay, you can see it a little bit better. And it's all different sizes of drills. And up here was fine. Once I got into the orange and the yellow spots, it was like they had a spot for the big drill, but there wasn't room for it. So I sort of had to go through and just make up what I was doing to get it to fit. I do like the image, so I may go ahead and complete this, but I did set it aside because I was getting very frustrated with the drills that weren't fitting. So those are my completions for the bubble round event, and that was in July, I believe it was. Let's see, I'll put this one down here too. This was my completion for Summer with the Masters. So Summer with the Masters is an event, Diamonds and Washi, Katie from Diamonds and Washi hosted it this year. Last year, Anthony from Single and Placing was involved. And the whole point of it is to do an old Masters piece or a piece from a famous artist of time gone by, right? And I've said this several times when we've been looking at diamond paintings I work on. I like things that are different. And to me, this is different because this is actually a Van Gogh painting. Van Gogh painted Skeleton Smoking. I believe that's the name of it. Skeleton Smoking, Van Gogh's Skeleton Smoking. And I was just like, that's weird because I wouldn't think that this was a Van Gogh. And when I got it, I thought, oh, it could apply for Drills and Chills or Halloween with the skeleton. The fact that it's smoking is a little weird, so I was thinking maybe like the weird event. But when Summer with the Masters came around, which is one of my favorite events because I like learning about the different artists, I thought I have to do this one. I just have to. So this one, it didn't take all that long. Let's see, there's 30 colors and this is a 40 by 50. Maybe just under a week. The challenge I had, so the background is all 939. And the company I got this from, Canvas by Numbers, is primarily a paint by numbers company, but they also sell diamond paintings. These drills were not great. They were not great. So I actually ordered some replacement drills from a vendor to use instead of the 939s that they provided. Once you got into the actual skeleton itself and some of the other colors, the drills were a little bit better, but it was a little unfortunate with that. The 939, the largest piece or color that's out there, the drills aren't great. So then for June, Pride Month, I completed this totally awesome, trying to make sure I get it in. So this is called, this is June Pride 2024 by, and I'm going to butcher the name here, Jordan Maris, maybe. And you have rainbow colors, but they're all lightsabers. And you know my affinity for Star Wars. So I would have completed this for any, on any given day, not just for Pride. But I really enjoyed working on this one. This is a Rose Prophet. And the artist is actually her son, because when I posted it, she responded and said, oh my gosh, it's my son's artwork. Thank you for posting it. It looks great. And she's like, I'm going to show it to him. So her son did this. And that's sort of cool that it's all in the family, right? So this is a 70 by 48 square. And I did do a little bit of enhancements here. Let me see if I can get up close. So see in the middle of the lightsaber, there's like a stripe. Okay. Here's another one. This is like 3 3 wide stripe. Here's one is maybe 2 or 3. Those are pearls. Pearls for squares. And I went ahead and used those just to give the middle of the lightsaber, I wanted it to look like the light was emanating from the center of the lightsaber, that it wasn't just a brick of light. So I used that, the pearls for squares, and I think it really turned out very well. They really do, and I don't know if it's picking up on the camera or not, but they really do look like they're glowing. So I really enjoyed working on that piece. Yeah, so that was June. Now remember my temperature chart? I didn't remember it. I left it for the month of June and most of July, but I did get it pretty caught up. And here's what we have for the temperature chart. So as a reminder, in case you're new, I'm working on this. This is a cross-stitch conversion. So this is actually a cross-stitch pattern that I am putting onto a diamond painting canvas and using the drills as opposed to floss or thread. Okay. So this one I picked out was, it's this, every month has a shelf, and every shelf has the number of drinks on it for the number of days of the month. So January, February, March, etc. And then there's like little tchotchkes and stuff like that on the shelves to break it up a little bit. This one you can customize the year for whatever year you're completing it in. You can put different titles up here, and this is going pretty well. There was a little bit of a learning curve as far as I couldn't get, the canvas was a little bit bigger than what the image actually is. So you can see here, my release papers from Crashly here on the sides are actually covering up a couple spaces for drills. So this was like horribly off center. I think I fixed it. But it may be a little off center as well. But I had to fix that, and then I had to, pretty much that was the one thing that was really off center. But I think it's coming along nicely. And as you can see, you know, January and February were sort of these quiet, darker, murky colors. March, you started waking up a little bit, but look at how tropical, if you will, June and July up until this drink is. I do have a couple drinks to finish for July, and I can go ahead and do that this weekend since it's the start of August. But I'm really enjoying working on this. Now this one, you purchase your drills separate. You just buy the pattern, and then you get the canvas. And so I'm using a lot of special drills actually. I have slivers and sliverettes. These are gunmetal. Sliver and sliverettes are making up the shelves, and I'll bring this up to you in just a minute. The glasses itself are actually clear sparklers from DP with Sparklers. And then there are a couple places, there's these like brackets that the shelf rests on. I did that in metallic, the years in metallic, and then this is all metallic with the exception of the blue here and the beverages. This is all metallic around the sides and stuff like that. So I'm gonna bring this up and let you see it a little bit closer. And here you can see some of those special drills. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again, just in case you haven't seen this whip before, but some lessons learned, obviously doing this for the first time. So you see how up here, you can see the grid lines through the drills, and that literally, you see that through the drills. It's not just because I'm holding it up and light is coming through the back, because I can hold it up right to me, and you can still see the grid marks. So lesson learned, drills are a little bit see-through. You know, when you're working on a canvas that has a color behind it, obviously you don't notice it as much. But if I were to do this over again, I would probably do like a dark brown background, make it look like a wood wall that has the shelves and stuff. But here I thought, oh, I'm going to do this. It's going to be like a window, and these are in front of the window and the light's coming through. But so I would change that. But, you know, other than that, I think it's coming along pretty well. This is the whip that I brought to the Great Lakes Escape Retreat and forgot the drills. And I'm working on this for the Asian event. And this is Twilight Temple. And the name of the artist is, it's like a Russian name. I'm going to butcher it, so I'm going to skip it. But it's from Dreamer Designs. And this is, how big is it? This, let's see, there's how many colors? Lots of colors. You know, I love using the washi tape around the edge, but you cover up some of your legend, right? So I think there is, let me see, there are 61 colors. 61 colors, and for the most part, I am doing it as charted with one tiny exception, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is, I think this is a really cool saturated colors, a little moody, and I'm really enjoying working on this. And you can see I just have probably once I finish this row, maybe 2.5 rows left. I go by these 4x4 release papers, so maybe 2.5 rows left, so that shouldn't take me very long. Now let me show you, this was charted with, it has a bunch of crystals up here in the moon. They outline the roof here. There's also crystals in the tree and down here in the tree, but this is what I added. I don't know if I've shown this before. You see that? That is a brand new offering from Tima. That is a star. This one is actually called a twisted star. They also have one that's called a ninja star. And here's another one off to the side here. And when I saw that, I thought I need to try and use this. Oh, you know what else I did is I did replace some of the stars, I think, with something a little bit different than what's already down here. But these essentially cover 6-ish spaces. So as you can see, let me get up and close here again. The stars sort of pointing up and down in this instance. So this is a square. I put it down, and then in the corner of each corner of the star, there was a little gap that you could see through to the canvas. Not super noticeable. I didn't have to do anything with it, but I thought, you know what, I want to try and cover that up. What can I use? So I went in with clear sparklers. Sparklers are square, clear, in one in each corner, and it fills it perfectly. And what I really like about it is the sparkler brings even more sparkle to the star, and it's both subtle but yet not at the same time. Those sparklers give it a little subtleness. The star itself gives it a little bam. This is something different. So really enjoying working on this one. Okay, so y'all saw the video where I went crazy and I unboxed the Star Wars. I had to start one. And of course, you have to go in order. So I started A New Hope. And I'm loving this. Now this whole thing, it's quite long. You can see I have it rolled up, and I forgot the total length, but there's only 19 colors in this whole thing. So this is going to continue down, and down here where we have, we're on the planet. Luke is there. It has the the name of the movie, stuff like that. This one, I made one substitute, or I'm sorry, two substitutions. Okay. So what I did, everything is charted or done the way it's charted, with the exception of the border. The border was supposed to be the ABs that they've used in these sort of like chemtrails or something. And I thought it needs to be different. It can't be the same thing as the ABs. So I went ahead and used gold metallic. And then the stars up here, these were supposed to be the same white. These are, I think it's the 3865 fairy dust. It was supposed to be this, and I thought, how are the stars, why are they made out of the same thing that the ships are? I want them to look different. So again, I came in here with some clear sparklers. Sparklers are square, and put them up there, and I think it really helps make that sky look a little bit different. So yeah, I'm just loving this piece. I'll bring it up close so you can see the enhancements that I did. So here's our gold, and then here's our sparklers. This piece is, it's, when I need to sit down and do something and get some dopamine going, this is what I turn to. It is, you know, there's so few colors, it allows me to just sort of zone out a little bit, but at the same time, I'm loving the subject matter. And after working on my skeleton with some iffy drills, say what you want about DAC, they have some killer drills. The drills are amazing. So we've seen this one before. I have not made any progress on it since we probably saw it. This is my princess panel, and this is R2-D2. And looks like I need to fix a little separation there. But this is from, the pattern is from an Etsy store. I believe it's called Creatively Stitching. And then I got the drills and the canvas and everything from Jade. Jade has great drills as well. But as you can see, this is pretty long as well. I have the top part of R2-D2, but the rest of this is pretty much just R2-D2 and then a little ground down here. This I'm pretty much doing as charted. When it comes to cross-stitch conversions, because this is a cross-stitch conversion, I have to pick and choose what I'm going to substitute, because you're already looking at a pattern and trying to follow it. And the minute you start putting different things in, it's like, ooh, where's this on the pattern? So I've learned from my temperature chart that stick to some of the traditional drills. However, I did use, and they're a little hidden here, if you remember what R2-D2 looks like in the movies and stuff, he has like this little red light, and then these are blue lights that blink. I did use crystals for these, so just to give it a slightly different look than the rest of the drills. But I'm really liking how this is turning out. I just need to sit down and dedicate some time to it. Now, why haven't I got a lot done? Well, because I've started a new painting, like my Star Wars one. I had to work on it. And let me tell you, when you see this, you're going to see why. So this was, I did an unboxing. I did a first look of Winter King's storybook. And this is True Heart. He's a lion. This is a 70 by 81 square. And you can see I'm just about halfway through. This painting is amazing. It's amazing. And I have replaced, I think, 15 drills. 15 drills. So let's go over some of the enhancements here in general. So I'm using a lot of crystals and crystal confetti. Those are crystal drills with glitter essentially in them. I'm using some of that in this around the sides here. Then I'm using, there's like these little solid, I'm going to assume that it's like a snow flake or something. I'm using pearl, no, what are they? Quad cubes pearl. And I'll bring it up to you in just a second. Then I'm using some quad cubes in the middle of the flowers. This one is butternut, I believe. And then I'm using a gunmetal quad cube in the center of his eyeball. And then in the lion itself, we have some more of the crystals, some more of the crystal confetti drills. I'm also replacing a couple colors, even up here, with a, let me get the number for you. It is 3371, which is like a dark brown, and it's a fairy dust drill, and the dust is gold, so it almost looks bronze. And I love that drill. So I'm using that in here along with around the edge. But also in the the lion, I'm using some sparklers. So there's some crystals here. These are sparklers. There's some sparklers up here. They're replacing basically, they were gray drills, and I'm using Athens gray to add a little bit more texture to the lion's mane. But I can't wait to do a post review on this. Since I did unbox it, I thought, yeah, I probably should actually finish one and show it off a little bit. There's going to be more of this Winter King storybook this is from Captured by Radiance. I have seen another one at Dreamer Designs, but Captured by Radiance, their quality is mwah. So I'm looking forward to getting some more of these. So let me bring this up to you, and we can take a closer look at some of the enhancements. So here you can see, I'm trying to see what these are crystal confetti. Okay, then these would be crystal drills up here. I think there's some of the, let me do it this way. This is, where is the fairy dust? The fairy dust is, I believe it's here. Okay, some of the darker brown here. Here's one of our quad cube pearls, right here. And then let's go ahead and take a look at this. Well, let's look at his eyeball. You can see the quad cube there. I love that. It's shining like it would reflect off a real eyeball. And then here we have some of those Athens gray sparklers that, what I find with sparklers is, yeah, they bring a little extra sparkle, but they're a little shorter than the square drills. So they're actually giving you a little depth. And I think that is so cool. I am really looking forward to completing this one. I'm going to continue the special drills around the side because it does sort of carry around like a frame down at the bottom. Plus there's some flowers here. I'll continue that through the flowers as well. But this thing is just amazing. I've had this on my table for probably about 4 or 5 days, and I don't want to leave it. And then let's have an honorable mention for my J-Wall. I'm not opening this up. I have it put away. She's sleeping. I'm going to let her rest. But this is Dory to the Stars by Josephine Wall. This is from Diamond Painting Deutschland. It is a high color kit. I think there's 120-ish colors maybe. I love it. And it's single-sided adhesive, hence this white cover. I love working on it. The quality is fantastic. It's just big. It's big, and you know, unlike some of these other paintings, like the lion or even my temple, when you're working on it really close up, you can tell sort of what you're working on. Oh, this is the temple. Oh, this is the moon. This one, you can't tell. So you get a little discouraged. You're just like, I'm putting down confetti, 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 and I'm not making any designs here. This is not going well. But then the minute you hang it up, and like normally what I'll do is I'll this takes two hangers, and I will hang it on my closet door, and you see the most beautiful picture. You really have to view these from a viewing distance, and yeah, it's coming along very well. So my plans are for the rest of the year, sort of not do a lot of events. I'm going to do one event, the Witch with Diamond Art Emporium, but then that's pretty much it. I want to watch and watch along and see the what's going on in the events, but I need to finish these. And I do have one other canvas here, and it is a Robert Finale. It is a 90 by 60. It's from Dreamer Designs, but it's a gift for somebody, so I don't want to show it. The thing that I have with that one, and I think I mentioned this before, it is a canvas from a while back, and Dreamer Designs recently really tightened up their grid. So there's a lot of gapping on that painting, and it's frustrating me. So I have to get back to it when I have the right mindset. This painting, the Twilight Temple, is the new grid. And let me tell you, Dreamer Designs did a fantastic job, almost too good, tightening up this grid, because every once in a while I get a little crowded. So I'm thinking maybe just a drill is like a little off or something. It's a little hard to complete a row, but I'm managing. But these are all of my completions and or whips for probably about the last two months or so. So I'm going to continue working on these. Like I said, I'm going to, let's see, what is it, August? I'm not going to do any events for August. September starts Witch. So I'll have a canvas for that, but pretty much I'm going to focus on completing these, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the final products with you. And if you guys have any questions on any of these, please put them in the comments down below. Yeah, I mean, that's what I have. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you next time we are speaking of diamonds. Bye-bye.